time is 5:42. I call to order the school board meeting of the California Military Institute. No, 5:42. Item 3.1, revision, or is an action item, revision, adoption, ordering of agenda, October 16, 2019. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And Mr. Stafford? Is that correct, Mr. Stafford?
That's correct.
Is there any discussion? Please vote. Item 3.1 is a 5-0 vote. Item 4.1, student representative to the Board of Trustees.
All right, from CMI, Student Representative, Cadet Captain Montserrat Rapallo or Rapallo? Rapallo.
Greetings, Mr. Garcia, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Bennett, and the cabinet. I am your 9th Brigade Commander from CMI, Montserrat Rapallo, and with me is my Commencement Major, Bedoya. So we start off with our club rush. It was held during lunch. All our cadets, they had booths for sports, for electives, for clubs. It was all lunch. We involved also middle school, so we had like a good culture going on, trying to get our students more involved into school spirit and school activities. We had our NCOA, our Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, at March Air Force Base. It was a 3-day event where we taught these cadets how to be non-commissioned officers, corporals, sergeants, staff sergeants. NCOs are the backbone of the Corps, of the Cadet Corps, and we wanted to let them know how to teach right and how to present classes and stuff like that. We had 28 graduates, which is over more than half of which we had last year. Last year we only had 12 graduates, so we did good this year. We had our math festival. Our math festival was very successful. We had a lot of students participate, and not only students, we had a lot of parents come out and participate with the students in fun activities, puzzles, and interact with teachers also. We're hoping to make this an annual thing because we have a lot of, it's popular between the parents and the teachers. We have our Employees of the Month, Ms. Patino and Ms. Michelle. Ms. Patino is a 6th grade teacher and Ms. Michelle is a front office clerk. They're both very hardworking and dedicated to bringing the culture together at CMI and making all of us students very happy. We had Classroom to Career. Classroom to Career, we incorporated the STEM into what they were learning. I know we had robotics, we had some science classes, do some experiments, so it was a lot of fun for the younger students. We had a motivational speaker, Mr. Tyler Derman, to our school. We had every class goes listen to his speeches, and we also had our staff go listen to his speech. I felt like it gave us walking out, you had like a new sense of pride, you're like, wow, this man, like, it opened our eyes. It gave us more motivation to continue throughout the week and the weeks coming up. We had our senior night for volleyball, cheer, football, and we had all the parents come out, walk the students out. We had a lot of school spirit. We had a lot of people make posters, cheering, confetti, all of it, balloons. And today we had our awesome kickoff to college. We had a lot of speakers come in from La Sierra. We had a former CMI student come in to speak. She's an admissions rep. We had our AVID tutors who took a day off from college to come explain, how they go to classes and how AVID will help them get to college. We had college talks. The seniors filled out college applications. We did FAFSA. We had a guy come in from La Sierra University, and he helped us fill out the applications, like tutorial hand by hand. So that was very useful for us seniors who haven't filled out any applications yet. Personally, I applied to La Sierra today for the criminology, and we had a waiver, so it was free to apply to La Sierra today. So I know a lot of people applied today. That concludes my presentation. If you guys have any questions, I appreciate your time. We did win. It was 46 to to like 2 or 42 to 2. It was a good win. Thank you.
Item 4.2, CMITA President Mitchell Osborne.
Good evening, Mr. Garcia, Board, Superintendent Bennett, and Cabinet. Thank you for being here. I just want to address you as I'm glad that we are part of CMI, and the teachers have a message that we'd like to speak to the board members about, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Behrens.
Good evening, Cabinet, board members, board president, and our superintendent. I stand before you on behalf of all CMITA members. Our members want me to convey to you all, we appreciate the inclusion in last week's professional development. It gives our members the opportunity to meet with our counterparts from other school sites, voice common challenges, celebrate victories, even if they are the day-to-day small ones. Some of the things that were our takeaways from that training was equity versus equality, was defined in one workshop as being the difference between being equal in status and rights and the opportunities versus being fair and impartial. We felt equal and had equity during those days. We celebrated that. Sometimes working at a charter school, we are the only ones that remind ourselves that we are different. And though equality can be achieved, equity is hard to measure. It is like comparing apples and peaches. As we tell our parents and students, our school is not for everyone. Not all students can find a home in CMI. Not all parents are comfortable with our approaches. And not all teachers can find their teaching groove at CMI either. Simply put, California Military Institute is a unique educational institute that CMITA will support and defend. As teachers at CMI, we have overcome a lot of obstacles and hurdles these last couple of years, but we adapt and overcome every day. Lesson plans, pilot curriculum, parent engagement, student engagement, community contacts, community service, ASB, link crew, web, sports with every shape and size of sport balls possible. We are asked to get on board with 2 days' notice of standard-based grading, multi-tiered systems of support, learn as you go approach. Every student needs to pass, no zeros, PLC, power of relationships matter. Connection, being heard, building trust, engage with our students. Relationship matters. All the while, we are waiting for instructions, struggling to find the clarification that lead to clarity. Though we need to teach clarity, we rarely feel we can state a clear common goal. And educate we do. We are told and recognize that students who do not feel connected and engaged are less likely to succeed. So we step up our game. We strategize, we collaborate, we attend PD. Read support books, teach like a pirate, include support, tutor, communicate, while telling our students to not bully, don't vape. You have yet another day to complete that last late assignment. Yes, there is a test retake. Just one more warning or I will call home. We recognize and appreciate the support and engagement given by the cabinet, the board, and the superintendent, and all of the support staff, community, individuals who provide the encouragement to keep us going. Our teachers set the conditions in our classroom for our students to feel as though they are heard and belong to the community called a classroom in the world called CMI. It's pro you, pro me, you are seen. It just takes one step forward to make progress, and it takes less than that in the wrong direction to lose 3 steps. Listening 2 minutes a day for 10 days will help anyone feel heard, understood, accepted, guided, and supported. Last week we were heard. I love my job. Our job loves us. The road to success with our student doesn't start with the engagement between teacher and student. It starts with the engagement between administration and their teachers. To those of you I address this evening, know that CMITA members know it starts with you, it starts with me, and thank you for being on our journey with us.
Next item, 4.3, principals update.
President Garcia, board members, Superintendent Bennett, Cabinet, good evening. We'll begin the presentation here shortly. We can go to the next slide. Thank you, Ms. Evans. Oh, okay. See the button to the right? The button to the right? So CMI students winning College Board Opportunity Scholarships. This is really exciting. We received word today from the Education Services Office. There were 50,000 entries in the state of California. Out of the 50,000 entries, 392 were winners. Out of those 392, 3 are from CMI. They're Isabella Rodriguez, Leona Maria Umbina, and Miguel Wances. All 3 of them received $1,000 scholarships for practice for SAT. The idea is when Khan Academy connects with the PSAT scores, and then they can practice doing this work, allow them to apply for these scholarships. So it's an honor for our district. Halloween is not yet here, but we did go on ghost walks. We're looking for evidence of teacher clarity. This is the work that we've been doing collectively as a district, and we're trying to apply that at our school as well. Our teachers did a wonderful job. This particular part of training involved teachers actually allowing others to walk into their classrooms while they're not there and looking for evidence around the room of teacher clarity. I received really positive feedback from our teachers in this exercise. What I want to emphasize is that many of the teachers volunteered their rooms, and we really appreciated that. This is a name to a new song, Construction is Moving, Soon We'll Be Grooving, in our new gymnasium. So these are some photos that we took, but it's nice to see a lot of heavy machinery and smell of diesel fuel, because we know good work is happening. So Brigadier General Cross is visiting us tomorrow. Brigadier General Cross is replacing General Gabrielli, who has retired this year. General Cross was actually the superintendent of the OMI Academy once upon a time. So he's planning to speak with our cadets tomorrow during formation, and then later on speak a little bit with the administration. You're more than welcome to come and visit and meet him if you're in the area, you have some time. And I also want to invite you to our annual world-famous Veterans Breakfast that will be taking place this November 8th. We're inviting not just the veterans, but we're also inviting first responders in the community, sheriff, firemen, etc. So come and eat all the pancakes you can have. You need to RSVP, however, to Ms. Cheryl Siska, because spacing is limited. And that concludes my presentation for this evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Item 5.1, discipline for September 2019 monthly suspension report. Item 6.1, another information item.
We do have one card for this evening. We, Jerry Kong with the 2020 census.
President Bennett, President Garcia, Mr. Bennett, members of the board, good evening. My name is Jerry Kong. I'm with the United States Census Bureau. just wanted to introduce myself to your school district. In another lifetime, I previously served on a board myself, and I know how crucial the census data is to properly plan and project for the next decade to come. And knowing that you do have trustee areas is part of our democracy to make sure that your trustee areas are as equal in terms of population as much as possible. I'll be reaching out to your Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. My strategy involves working with your school site councils to create complete count committees, which is our basic building block that the Census Bureau creates for local communities. But I also like to meet with you board members individually as well, because you are our local community leaders as well. And I would love to hear your ideas. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be reaching out to your office to have a meeting. And I'd appreciate so much your partnership and your cooperation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 7.1, is this right? I thought we already did. Item 7.1, consent calendar. Oh, okay, approval of consent calendar, is there a motion? Dr. Freeman, Mr. Nelson, or excuse me, Mr. Stafford. Any discussion? No, please vote. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Item 7.1 is a 5-0 vote. Item 8.1 is an action item. Personnel, certificated personnel action item. Is there a motion?
Second.
Dr. Rao. Any discussion? Please vote. Item 8.1 is a 5-0 vote. Item 8.2 is another action item, personnel, classified personnel action items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Rao and Dr. Freeman? Mr. Nelson, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Any discussion? Please vote. Item 8.2 is another 5-0 vote. Item 8.3 is another action item. 8.3 is an action item, revised account clerk salary range and workday increase. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, that was Dr. Freeman and Dr. Rao this time. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Please vote. Item 8.3 is a 5-0 vote. Item 8.4 is another action item, curriculum ratification of addendum number 1 for professional services with Stimulate funded through the California Military Institute Local Control Accountability Plan, supplemental and concentration funds at a total cost not to exceed $45,000. I added the word dollars, not the general fund. Is there a motion?
Second.
Mr. Stafford and Dr. Rao. Any discussion? Please vote. Item 8.4 is a 5-0 vote. Item 8.5 is another action item, business approval of J-13A, request for allowance of attendance due to emergency conditions. Is there a motion? Mr. Nelson, Dr. Freeman. Any discussion? Please vote.
This is for the smoke that, when the
The fires. Any other discussion? No, please vote. Item 8.5 is a 5-0 vote. Item 9.1, information item, curriculum, state priorities, and local indicators. Item 10.1, other items by the superintendent.
I got a chance to visit CMI the other day, get to walk around with Mr. Milosavljevic and visit classrooms. It was good to see what was happening over there, and the progress being made on their gymnasium is going to be a big positive for that school in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Item 11.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Dr. Rao? Mr. Nelson? Mr. Freeman? Mr. Stafford? Congratulations and thank you to you ladies coming out here. I know you're a little bit nervous, but you guys did very well. That's what I want to say. And thank you, Mr. Malovich, wherever you went. There he is. Item 12.1, adjournment action item, adjournment of the regular meeting of the California Military Institute for October 16, 2019. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Rao, Mr. Freeman, or excuse me, Mr. Stafford. I gotta get my names right today. Any discussion? Nope, please vote. Item 12.1 is a 5-0 vote, and we are adjourning at 6:03 PM.